The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Podcast coming to you Tuesday afternoon, September 9th, rather, 2025. How are you guys doing? It is closing in on the end. Well, it is the end of the summer. Technically, for me, summer ends for me with the minute the kids are in school, and my kids been in school now pretty much a month now. But it is close to the end of the summer. My favorite time of year, the fall. Football's back, baseball pennants around here, basketball around the corner, hockey around the corner. A lot, content wise, this time of year is maxed out for me more than anything else. This is why you got to pace yourself, make sure you're taking care of yourself, your mentals, make sure you're exercising, eating good, the whole nine. Now the eating part, I'm still struggling with that one, man. Honestly, even since New York, I'm still trying to get rid of that one. Working out, I'm back to working out again regularly, but the nutrition is still a challenge here. By the way, if I get started on today's show, I just want to shout out all the folks who loved on my wife this past weekend. She celebrated her birthday. I'm not going to tell her the age because she, quite frankly, is no one's business. But plus, just wanted out there. But whatever. All my friends and family who loved on my wife this weekend, and giving her props and all that, and just kind of being there for her. Appreciate you guys. Also, shout out also to my cousin Jaleesa. This morning she gave the birth to her first child, Raja. This morning, I think it was at 6:40 something this morning. She gave birth. So shout out to Jaleesa, of course. Great job as always. We'll probably come visit you guys very, very soon and see the baby. But of course, this time of year, football's back, and it's funny. Like if you're a long time, this is where I fault long time football fans. Okay. Like, week one overreactions is a thing, and it's on command every single year. And the funny thing is, it's the same people every year. And I know this. I watch them every year. The same people overreacting to a loss or to a win or to a situation every single time. It's on command every time. By the way, I'm wearing my pajamas today because I'm not feeling well today. Other than going to pick up my kid from school, I've been pretty much in bed all day, just doing the show. Obviously, I'm doing the show today, but anyway, overreactions all day, and it's annoying. Like, bro, act like you've been there before. It's on command. All of a sudden, a bad loss. Oh, their season's over, or a great win, or a team overachieves week one. Everyone's all over it. Oh, we are Super Bowl contenders. Stop. I always say, and you guys know my math, you need to give it at least a healthy 4-game sample size before you start seeing what teams are. And every year you guys fail. You fail every single time on this. And the worst part is the same people, the same folks, the same talking heads. The Jets might be really good because they lost a close game to the Steelers. Bro, the Jets suck. Okay? Stop. The Jets suck. And you know what? This is the year I'm done with the hedging this year. I've been nice to a lot of these teams through the years, and people say I got team passes. No. When you see my power rankings this year, especially this season, it's gonna be a lot more bolder, in my opinion, a lot more definitive. Which by the way, you will check those out. Like today, I'm recording three podcasts today, even though I'm not feeling well. 3 podcasts today. I'm doing this one, of course. Recording this week's EJ's Versus Degenerate. We'll drop it tomorrow on the feed. And then I'm planning on going to Huddle Up Podcast tonight at 8:30 live on Huddle Up Podcast feed on all podcast catchers and Facebook and Twitch and all that good stuff. So we'll do this every week now. I'm gonna give you my top 5 this week. My top 5 takeaways from each week. I'm gonna give you my top 5, and I'm looking up here my notes up here actually. I'm on the big screen here. I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 biggest takeaways from this weekend. All right. So number 1. Now this situation, I'm gonna tell you, the panic is real because I warned you guys. I warned most of you guys that this was a must win. The Dolphins panic now with the loss to sorry, my screen's went off here a second. Losing to the Colts on Sunday afternoon. I told y'all that was real. That was real. I told y'all it was a must win. You all told me I was crazy for saying that. Oh, it was a must win. Week 17 weeks, bro. I told y'all the reason it was a must win for the Dolphins because it had to set a tone. The tone coming into the year for Miami was that everything felt down. No one was high on Tua. Guys are getting a little older. Everything felt down. So you look at the first 3 games of the year. They're playing the Colts. They're playing the Patriots week 2. They're playing the Bills week 3. The Pats come to the year. A lot of hype. Now that got squelched a little bit now with them losing pretty soundly to the Raiders on Sunday. So the Dolphins should win week 2. But what's even more concerning with the Dolphins is the way they lost. The way they lost. And what did I tell you guys? What did I tell all you guys before the season started? And it's happening. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a know-it-all. But I told you guys. I warned you. If the Dolphins lose week 1, you're going to hear the cries of firing Mike McDaniel, of getting rid of Tua Tagovailoa, and everything else in between. And what's happening now since Sunday? For the last 48 hours, that is all you've heard. All you've heard was, we need to get rid of Tua. Tua's done. Mike McDaniel, we're done. All talking heads are giving him shit now, making fun of him now. Predictable. I told you guys this. I told you this 2 months ago, that they had to win this game. Look, can they turn the season around? Of course they can. Okay? But a lot of football, it's about mental. Okay? It's a 53-man roster. And once you have a certain tone set, most of the times those tones stay the way they are. If things are not good in that locker room week 1, it's a good chance that it may stay that way through week 17, through week 18. Okay? I told you guys Mike McDaniel was on the hottest seat in the league. And that seat's got hotter. Okay? So the panic was predictable as hell. I told you guys this. I told y'all. Okay? And hey, listen to me. Why not? I want to watch football for 35 years. No big deal. No big deal. EJ, you're crazy. You just say things. Okay, whatever you want to say. But everything I said to you 2 weeks ago and last week, what would happen if they lose the game? And I told you what will happen. What's happening now in the last 48 hours. So I was right. Cool. There you go. All right, number 2. I'm a Giant fan. Love my fellow Giant fans. Having said that, y'all stupid as fuck. Y'all stupid as fuck. Y'all watch that game on Sunday? Look, all the hype videos, they were excited with the football season. They lose 21-6 to the Commanders. All of a sudden, bench Russell Wilson. Bench him, he sucks. And look, Russ might be cooked. I'm not gonna sit and play around and say, no. Homie might be cooked. Okay? But we just don't know because the Giants coming into that game were missing 2 linemen. Okay? Neal and the other kid, Thomas. Okay? Missed the game. You miss almost half of your offensive line, your front line, your offensive line. You're pretty much dead to Warner. And y'all act like Washington is some team that just exists. This ain't your same old Commanders. This ain't the same Daniel Snyder Commanders. Did y'all just forget they were the Final Four last year? Did y'all idiots forget they literally were a game away from the Super Bowl? And you say, oh, but lucky. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, lucky, whatever. They still got there. Y'all acting like this team, is just some nobody. Like, this is a rebuilding year, okay? What do we tell you guys? This is not a playoff team, okay? If this team won 6 or 7 games this year, 6 or 7 games this year, that is a win for the Giants. And that may still happen, okay? We just don't know. We just don't know the life situation. Calm down the Russell Wilson stuff. He's going to start week 2. I know Daboll was non-committal after the game, probably frustrated the loss and the way things happened. And look, Russ looked bad. I agree. Russ did not look good. He didn't look good. Okay, he's not a playmaker anymore. He's older. It's noticeable pretty quickly. And maybe we do see Jackson Dart, but do you want to see Jackson Dart right now? Throw him to the Wolves against the Cowboys and the Vikings and all that stuff? Really? You want to do that? Bad idea. I told you already. I mapped this out for you guys. Week 5 against the Saints is where they'll make a decision on that. If the Giants are 1-3 and 0-4, I guarantee you Jackson Dart will be starting that game against the Saints, because the Saints will be the worst team in football this year. You want to start against a team that's less than, not against a contending team or a team like Dallas who's probably better than we think they are. Okay? So stop being stupid, bro. Stop being stupid on purpose, too, also. You do this shit every year, okay? If you gave Daniel Jones 6-7 years to prove himself, Russ is at least won one game. Okay? That's what I'm going to say to you about that. Okay? All right, number 3. As my screen goes out here. I don't know what happened here. Number 3, take away. That Ravens-Bills game was amazing. Phenomenal game. Okay? Bad loss in the moment for the Ravens. They're up 15 points in the fourth quarter. Okay? Have a chance to close out that game. Don't do it. Josh Allen comes back. Phenomenal. And look, and a lot of luck, too, also. There's a lot of luck there, too, also, to happen for Buffalo to win that game. Having said that, I have a take for you guys. And I know most of y'all going to disagree with this shit, but I don't give a damn. I say my takes, I put it out there, and that's it. It is what it is. But I got a take for y'all. This is a good loss for the Ravens, I think. Big picture. I know I've spoken to folks that some people say, well, this may cost them number 1 seed. Okay. You had number 1 seed 2 years ago. What did that do for you guys? You've had both. You've been on both ends of the argument. You've been number 1 seed and still lost in the conference championship. You've been number 2, 3 seed and still lost. So the seed ain't the issue at this point, because you guys have the talent to win the whole thing. Look, my takeaway from that game is that Baltimore is still a better team. Okay? I know their last 2 losses to end last year and the start this season were in Buffalo. But look at those games, and you can tell. If you know football, you'll know that Baltimore beat themselves in those games. Okay? Baltimore's the better team. They just got to put it out there and prove it themselves. Okay? I think, though, that loss on Sunday was actually a good loss for Baltimore. Let me tell you why. You know, had the Baltimore Ravens won that game on Sunday, held on that lead, blew them out fashion, won by 15 points. Let's say in a different world, the Ravens held that lead and won. What is the narrative on Monday morning? The narrative Monday morning is this. Good win by the Ravens. They look strong. Do it in January. It wouldn't matter. They're in a no-win situation right now. The Ravens right now are in Super Bowl or bust mode. Okay? By the way, I saw a disturbing stat that John Harbaugh has now blown, I believe, 17 double-digit games, the most we've seen from a coach since 1991. That's fucking crazy. All right? Having said that, the Ravens, then Super Bowl must win anyway. So if you're going to play your bad football and do crap like this, do it now as opposed to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Do it now. Get it out of the way. The Ravens, the Super Bowl must win anyway. So, in fact, I already told y'all, this is a put up a start for the Ravens. This is what it feels like. If the Ravens don't at least get the Super Bowl this year, I think John Harbaugh's gone. I think he's gone. I think he's on the hot seat too also. You know, and this loss sure doesn't help his case. But better to do this loss in week 1. That's why I posted on social, and people were like, what are you talking about? It's better that it's week 1 than it's in the divisional playoffs or in the conference championship. Okay? Get it out of the way now. Get your shit out of the way now. Okay? It's a long year. We got 4 months ahead of us. Then the playoffs of football ahead of us. The Ravens are going to be there in the end. Okay? But they got to clean the mess. They beat themselves in this game. Bottom line. All right, number 4. Fourth takeaway. Yo, the Packers are for real. So I stated on this podcast last week that in the NFC, there's really only one definitive team, in my opinion, and that's the Eagles. They're the world champs. They deserve that the respect. They are the only definitive team. That is correct. The race for number 2 in the NFC is wide open. I said it's wide open, and it could be anyone from Detroit, from Washington, from the Rams to the Niners. Hell, even the Buccaneers make a case if they want to. The Packers are in that conversation, and what you saw on Sunday against Detroit, against the divisional opponent who just won the divisional title last year, who's been the best team, been the team cream of the crop of that division the last couple of years. If what we saw out on Sunday is a sign of things to come, Green Bay may in fact be the number 2 team in the NFC. Okay, you already saw the impact of Michael Parsons. You got a sack in that game late, but his disruption on that line, their defense was amazing on Sunday. Detroit looks lost. Okay, they look lost in a way where, for example, what did I tell you guys? I said losing Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator, losing Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator, had to cost Detroit something. Okay, now I still picked Detroit to win the division because I thought, okay, you lose coordinators, but they'll figure it out. They have a great roster. And look, they may still win the division. I'm not saying that's going to happen now. But one game sample, I'm not overreacting. But Detroit looked lost. They were never in that game. Green Bay dominated from start to finish. And if Jordan Love, who, by the way, the numbers don't really stand out as much, but he played very well. If we're seeing the ascent of Jordan Love into the top 10 conversation going forward this year, this might be the clear-cut number 2 team in the NFC. Now, again, Washington, Rams, Niners all have an argument. Detroit still has an argument for it now. But I was I told you guys, I was locked in more than the Ravens-Bills game. I was more interested because of the narratives in this game, Lions-Packers, because of that conversation about number 2 in the NFC. Green Bay definitely put their foot forward. So give them credit for that. All right. Number 5, last one. I mentioned the Bucks here. Don't be surprised if by the end of this year, now record matters though, so you guys know this. If Baker Mayfield, Bucks quarterback, Baker Mayfield, is a sneaky MVP candidate this season. So the Bucks have won 4 NFC South titles in a row. Granted, shit division, we got that. 2 of those are with Baker Mayfield. Okay, dude, the numbers don't pop on Sunday against Atlanta, but he gets the job done. That dude's a grinder. That dude fits the whole aura of what the Bucks want to be, a grinding out, pound out team. And also, as he wasn't great on Sunday, but he made the throws he needed to make to win the game. That dude is a top 10 quarterback in the league now. Okay, he was number 2 on my list before the year started. He could be higher, to be honest with you. His impact on the Buccaneers these last couple of years cannot be explained, because it's amazing what he's done, turn his career around after that slow start in Cleveland, goes to the Rams for a cup of coffee. He went somewhere else, I believe. I can't remember exactly what he went after that. But redefining his career here in Tampa has been nothing short of amazing. And I know why people hate Baker Mayfield. I get it. I know why Eagle fans hate him, because he's like a thorn in the paw, you call it. But that dude has been incredible in Tampa. All right. And we need to put some respect on his name. And if that dude plays like he does this year, look, the Bucks probably need to win north of 12 games to have a conversation about that. You can't go 10-7, 9-8 in that division and get serious consideration. They got to win some more games this year. And maybe they do this year. Maybe they do. Because that's a game on Sunday they normally lose. Okay? The fact the momentum went the other way against Atlanta, against the divisional opponent on the road, and Mayfield made the big throws late in that game, that's saying a lot. That dude might be a sneaky MVP candidate this year. Look out for that. So again, that is my biggest takeaways from this week in the NFL. Again, we have a great year ahead of us. I cannot wait to week 2. Again, we're gonna have Egypt Regenerate. We'll do our picks on the show. We're gonna record that tonight, hopefully, and have you guys out tomorrow morning for you to ingest. So anyway, more stuff here on the news here. So apparently I thought we were done with Mike Tyson and fighting. Remember him and Jake Paul went at it last, I think, November, and we saw that atrocity. Well, apparently Mike ain't done with us. We may be done with Mike Tyson, but apparently he ain't done with us. Because apparently Mike Tyson and, yes, Floyd, Money Mayweather are going to hook it up in the spring of 2026. You know, a fight between these two guys has been announced in 2026. The two legends have signed off what will be called a special exhibition match. While the exact date and location is still to be determined, the news has generated a lot of discussion in the boxing world, given the age of both fighters and the significant difference in the weight class. Mike Tyson, who will be nearly 60, was the heavyweight champion, while Mayweather's 48 held titles in much lighter divisions. We bitch about this and say that we don't want to see this, but guess what, bro? We're going to pay for it. We're going to watch it. Let's not kid ourselves. We're going to watch the fight. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch it because we are starved. We are hungry for content. Plus, I love Mike Tyson. I'm not going to lie. I love Mike Tyson. I don't think that, I'll be honest, you can take crazy this one. I don't think it's going to be a good fight at all. If you thought Jake Paul and Tyson was a bad fight, I don't think these two are going to, I don't think this is it. But yeah, we're still going to pay for it. They're going to pump a lot of money in this fight, a lot of promotion. People are going to get sucked into it, like we always do. I'm not paying for it. Now, if it's on Netflix, like last time, I'll do it. I'll watch it because I already have Netflix. But I'm not going to go out of my way to do it. That ain't happening. No siree. Not happening at all. No. And I love both these guys. I think Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think Tyson is phenomenal. Top 5, 8 fighter of all time. But, you know, if Jake Paul and Tyson was bad, I don't see this being any better. I just don't. No. But look, here's the deal. Will I watch it? Yes, if and only if I ain't got to pay extra money for it. Like if you broadcast the fight on Netflix again or on a platform I'm paying for that doesn't require me paying extra money to get access to it, you got me. So put on Netflix. You got me. But I'm paying pay-per-view numbers for this shit. Hell no. Not this day streaming. Bro, I listen. I ain't got money to waste that way, bro. I ain't got money to waste that way. Okay? I'm trying to save money. I just went to New York a couple weeks ago. You know, we spent $1,000 there. Okay? I got to work again in the state of man. We got Christmas coming up very soon. I got shit to pay for, bro. And you're raising my prices. My doctor's just raised her fee to me recently for next month. You know, I got shit going on, man. We got tariffs. I ain't trying to pay for a Tyson fight again. Not trying to do it. So place that bitch on Netflix. Place it on Amazon where I don't have to pay for extra. You feel me? So I'll watch it, but only if it's available for me on a platform I'm already paying for. Okay? So, all right. Last thing before we get out of here. Have you guys been following this whole Phillies Karen thing going on? Okay. So the Phillies came to Miami to face the Marlins on Friday. Baseball game. I don't remember who hit the home run. But apparently there was a guy and his kid who caught the ball, went from a seat to another seat, caught the ball. And when he went back, there was a woman who started basically arguing with them about the fact that it wasn't their ball, even though they caught it fair and square. So here's the video, and we'll react to the whole thing here. Oh wait, I don't need this like solemn music in here. This is stupid. This video here, whoever made this video is dumb. Don't put a solemn music in here. This is not a sad situation. This is a very serious situation. So this dude, okay, gave the ball back. Okay, hold on. Let me just take this real quick because this is hold on 1 second. It's a little messy here. Okay, there we go. So the woman comes, she gets the ball. The father eventually gives him the ball. Okay, gives him the ball. All right, and then of course there's footage of her cursing out people at the game. You know, she's carrying on like a crazy person there. The kid, of course, the Marlins find this out, and the kid eventually gets rewarded by the Marlins. They get a free ball. He gets to meet the players and all this stuff. They go back, not backstage, but they go down to the clubhouse and meet the Phillies players and all that. Bad situation there, of course. And of course, this woman, looks bad. And supposedly she also got fired from her job and all this crap. She apparently today put out a statement here. I'm going to read it here verbatim. I'm not sure if it's true, it's real or not, but here's her statement that she released today, if true. I apologize for my actions at the Phillies game. That's not who I am as a person. But the reaction to that happen has gone way beyond reasonable. Yes, I got the ball. Yes, I kept it. That's how it works at the park. Well, you didn't get the ball. You first off, woman, you did not get the ball. You went 2 miles over to bitch at the father, who, by the way, first off, that was me. You ain't getting the ball. If that's me, your ass ain't getting the ball. You place your ass back where it belongs, out of my face, out of my kid's face. That shit ain't happening on my watch. Trust me. So that dad is a better man than me. All right? She continues. I know some people wish the kid got it instead, but still just a baseball. This isn't life or death. It's a game. That's funny she says that, because considering that she reacted as though it was life or death. Unfortunately, because of the online mob, I even lost my job at the school I worked at, which shows how controlled this has gotten. Again, FAFO, they call it FAFO, right? Fuck around, find out. Now, having said that, even I agree that her losing her job, that's a bit much. That's a bit over the top. That's a little bit, right over the top. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she lose your job for this shit. You know what I mean? It's baseball. Yeah, I agree with it's baseball, and she's gonna act like an ass, and she did act like an ass. But lose your job? Nah, I'm out with that. She continues. I regret flipping people off in the stands. It was a reaction to constant vulgar and disgusting comments being yelled at me after I got the ball. Well, unfortunately, you put yourself in a situation where you were shit cussed out. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You do bad, expect bad to happen to you. Okay? It's just that simple. Anyway, she continues. I teach my students to stand up to bullies, and that's what I did. Okay. Really? Come on. It's not the bullies. Weren't you also a bully towards the father and the son? That you literally walked 2 aisles over to bully yourself to get a baseball, and you want to talk about bullies in the stand with bullies, bro? You can't use that again. You can't be a hypocrite and say I stood to bullies, stand the bullies when you're actually in the situation or the bully. Okay, she continues to close out here. And to be clear, anyone sending me nasty messages on my personal Facebook page should be thinking twice. Harassment, slander, and threats aren't free speech. If I feel threatened, they can and will carry legal consequences. Anyone who continues to be pursued with legal action, then you know who you are. Here's the thing. She doesn't deserve to be threatened, death threats, and all this harassment. I'm with her on that one, okay? As bad as that was, she shouldn't get that. I don't think anyone should get that, okay? She didn't do anything, criminal here. But when you put yourself in a position to get yelled at and harassed, and you're a teacher, and you're doing this shit, what do you expect to happen? Okay, first off, she's even lucky the father just gave her the ball. Most people, including myself, you ain't getting shit. Sit your fucking ass back where it belongs. Get the fuck out my face. Number one. That's what's up. All right? No. That shit ain't happening on my watch. You must out of your damn mind. No. So, yeah, listen. I don't want anything bad happen to her in the day. The situation worked out itself out. The kid still got a baseball. He actually made out even better. Met Phillies players, and all this stuff. She's getting dealt with now in the media. You have to run and find out, man. She did that. So all I got to say about that. But it's a very sad situation in a sense. Very serious situation. Here's the deal. If the father or the son went and grabbed the ball from her hands, that's one thing. That didn't happen here. It's a free baseball, okay? Which means anyone in the area can get it, okay? If the ball's on the ground, they get it in the ground, that's a free ball. It is what it is. That's the rules. That's simple. The dad didn't come in and take it out of your hands. That never happened. It's on video. So grow up, act like an adult, like you should be. Okay. I want you getting harassed. Obviously, I don't want you being harassed. But again, when you put yourself in situations with things like this is the shit that happens, bro. That happens that way. So it is what it is. Anyway, that's for me on the Tuesday podcast. Dated September 9th, 2025. I am on X at EJChristian7. Earnestly podcast across all podcast catchers. Of course, on YouTube page at Earnestly Pod. On TikTok, Earnestly Pod. Instagram as well, too, the same handle. Until the next episode, we will talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you throughout the week, throughout this podcast. Later.